So I think we'll talk about a few more wee things now. I think we'll talk about Charls Carroll. Charls Carroll got me and they doing these podcasts. Even though we see the wee pictures up on the screens and all, that was Charls Carroll. I got that visual cue of him. I decided I'll do him. But see this guy, he does podcasts and he's basically the antithesis of Joe Rogan. He's the complete opposite of Joe Rogan. This boy doesn't want you to take DMT and fucking get involved in psyops operations. I want you to get in touch with your spiritual side. I used to be in a comedy group called MDE. A guy I talked about in previous episodes, Sam Hyde and him were best friends. But Charles went his own way, and to be honest, he's kind of blackpilled. He's kind of bleak, but he's trying to remain optimistic. But he's a fucking great wee laugh, and see when you get into these fucking his buzz and start to understand how his mind works. He's that blackpilled, he's went that far down the rabbit hole, he's came out the other fucking end, a fucking donkey, you know what I mean? He's went all the way down there and just the rabbit hole just spat him out and said, just give up on humanity, lad. But he doesn't give up on people, and he doesn't give up on creating, and he doesn't give up on the human spirit. He calls it mirth. He says he doesn't give a fuck about the people out in the street. They'll fucking laugh if you were burned alive. He said all he cares about is reducing pain and suffering, and the people around him that care about him. He said apart from that, they can all go fuck themselves, because this word's fucked, and you're not going to get any bonus points by pointing out the strings to people and explaining to them how fucked it is, which is what he was doing in his comedy group MDE. He got disenfranchised by that because he realised that you can't wake people up. These people don't want to be wake up. They're trying to wake you up to what they feel is wrong. It's like an oppositional conflict going on with human nature, where every fucking body's got such a big ego that they think they're the one that knows everything that's going on, which isn't true. All of us have fragments. But Charls Carroll, some boy, he does these podcasts, and he's got his own wee community. He also done a series of podcasts with a guy called Doug Tinapple, who's the inventor of Airform Gym, and they just get banter back and forth, talking to each other. That wee podcast that they do together is called Can't Get Here From Here. But the one that Charls Carroll does on his Jack Todd is the one that I always watch. He just has loads of black pills and red pills and fucking different ways they look at things. One of the things, a piece of advice that I've took with me that he's always said is you don't wait to be happy. It's so simple but it's so true. He said you don't wait to be happy to do things. You don't sit around waiting to be happy to do things. You do things, then you sit around being happy. You know what I mean? And that's so true, because a big part of me being an artist is thinking, I'll get the right moment when I feel right, I'll do it, and then I'll feel class. But it's about doing it, feeling shit, finishing it, feeling fucking brilliant, So remember that one, folks. You don't wait to feel good to do something. You do something and then you feel good. But I check out his podcast. It's called Charls Carroll. He's got a YouTube channel, and it's spelled Charls. He's pretty cool. He's completely the opposite of Joe Rogan. This boy's all against drugs and all, but he smokes cigars like fuck, so he's a bit of a hypocrite in that way. But he's into like sort of clean living, but having a laugh and big ideas too. He reckons that Antarctica is like a place where like the Catholic Church and the US government can harness fucking demonic souls. He's that far down the rabbit hole that he literally believes the reason where nobody's allowed to go to Antarctica is because they've got a demonic portal there. So that's how far up his jack say he is with the fucking internet's left him. He's just brought himself now just to talk in his wee community and fucking blackpilling the rest of the internet. But he's pretty good. He inspired me to do podcasts, so check him out. But